Hello everyone, Klaus here, and today we're gonna review some canister set from 2009 from the second wave of the Gladiatorial Legends, and it's gonna be Vastus right here. So it's a green guy, of course. It's not one of the most famous canister released this year because, of course, there were Matanue, Kena, Aka, which were heavily featured in the movie. I think we still see Vastus in the movie, but not that much. So anyway, he's still a nice character. We're gonna see why. And of course, you can see the canister this time is kind of the same as the Indica, so with some really classical canister lid and also some canister bottom parts right here with, of course, all other parts. So for the canister lid, it doesn't represent anything really known. You can see it's maybe the Arena Mania, do not really know, but it's still a circular shape, and I still prefer it from the first canister lid first wave, yeah. For the first wave of 2009 because it's less blocky, so yeah, I think it's quite nicer. Yeah, and of course from the front picture, excuse me, you got Vastus. Behind him you got the squall shield symbol, or at least the maze. You can see also call it like that. And also it's really shine really bright, as you can clearly see. So it's really quite even white, if you can say so, and it's really helpful to show you perfectly the characters. And also you can clearly see that the background is also quite of a jungle one, so with some trees and stuff like that right here, and also some grass here. So it's different from the other Gladiatorian because, for example, Kina got some waters and Matani got some sand and dust. So really a nice touch in my opinion. Bionicle, Vastus, Gladiatorial Legend, all was in gold, so it really catch your attention. So really a nice and beautiful canisters in my opinion. Maybe one of the best with the 2008 second wave of canisters, which were really nice because of the canister lid representing the Canary Ignica. So anyway, on the side, nothing really interesting, apart from Bionicle, the website. All it show you all in one line all the canister released this year. Quite nice. The ad for the first movie, Bionicle Legion Reborn, and all the little features, so the biocode, Vastus written in some strange way with letters and number. Here's some to show you the principle of 2009, so the Tornax launcher, the fact that you can put Vastus into his canister, Bionicle action figure game, and that's quite all, tons of information. And yeah, of course, I think that all the background is quite green also again, and it changed. It's vary in function of the different canisters. But I'll talk about the instruction booklet right now. So, of course, you have the step. It didn't show you any combiner. Maybe it's with Lego released some in Brickmasters. I don't really know in Brickmaster magazine if there was some combiner with this canister set. Anyway, here I show you the rules of the Bionicle action figure game. Really simple, just hit your opponent with your Tornax launchers. And if you hit his canister, he loses 1 point, and if you touch him really bad in the face and not in the canisters, it make him lose 2 points. So quite simple, and I think you can already make this by yourself with all characters anyway. So nothing really interesting or new. It's just that they put some name on it and some rules. Here I show you all the vehicle and canister from this second wave. Nice. As for the movie, as for the Gladiatorial Legends, from some part of the vehicle, and that's quite all. We're gonna not have the ads for the other vehicles. You have to see, for example, the Kina instruction booklet, where it shows really all the it really show you all the ads for all the characters, even the Agawi released in the first wave. And that's quite all. So we're gonna talk about the set now. So here's the lower part. So of course the color scheme this time is going to be some lime green and some dark green. Laservic also used this type of color scheme, so nothing really new or interesting, but it's still nice to not have tons of black or dark gray in there. So yeah, quite nice. The legs are pretty simple in fact, because you can see it used some metal pelvis, so yeah, in fact, kind of every canister uses a metal pelvis. There's really not that much canister which use some vacuum pelvis. Do not know why. It may be interesting, but yeah, tons of metal pelvis. This time in lime green, so it was released before in Nocturne, I think, so it's kind of rare parts. Yeah, so double long connector in dark green also, so that's not really lime green, so that's not really an interesting new part because it was released before in some Ali Marine and stuff like that. Some Indica Titanmore in green, also released before in Laservic, I think. And then we're gonna find some old school parts, the Ordica leg. It was also used in some canister set, but I don't remember which one exactly. Yeah, I tried to search it in my collection, but do not find it. So, but I think it was also used before in other sets, and not just in the Ordica. But it is still not really a Steenwell part. We don't see that. We do not see really that part tons of times. And finally, some Inika Fate foot, this type, so not the cloud one, in dark green, and also it was released in Lezovic. But still, Lezovic was a special edition set, so it made kind of hard to find this set and the parts which go with them. So yeah, kind of a second chance for those who haven't got Lezovic to get his parts. And we're going to talk about the upper part of the set. So it's kind of hard because it's got some spears, so the two hands are linked, the two arms are linked. But as you can see, it used some Inika body frame, so very classic. But this time it's in the other way. So we're gonna, this part at first it's used as the back of the body frame, but this time it will be used as the front part. It's not the first time we see that because it was also used in the canister set included into the 2008 vehicle. For example, if you look at the Woko T3, which include Poitou, this version of Poitou got the armor frame and stuff like that on his back and not on the front. So it's not really a new, well, it's not really new, but still it's not really used tons of time in the canisters. Yeah, so that's all. Yeah, to finish the body to make less flatter, if I can say so, we're gonna add some some Inika type armor in green. On the back here, excuse me, we're gonna put these two parts. I do not really know why, maybe just to fill some holes, but this part right here which will be useful to put the life counters on it. So that's quite all. We're gonna talk about the we're gonna add the life counters and add later. We're gonna talk about the arms right now because there are really interesting parts right there, really more interesting than the lower part. So first of all, we're gonna add this new connector, double long connector part, so you can see because this time the holes are here and not theirs, and also it features an axle hole on the middle, so not this time we not have 3 pin holes, but this time we're gonna have 2 pin holes and 1 axle hole, which will be really useful. Not on this one, but it is useful on Kina and Matanui. And so yeah, for the shoulder armor, we're gonna have this nice parts, very nice molded, which look like some snakes, right here. But the snakes really go all on the Vastus upper part of the body. So really a nice one with 2 pinhole, and it quite look like, I'm gonna just search the word for it, so excuse me. It's gonna be quick. Yeah. It begins by a L in French. Okay, it's called a creeper anyway, yeah, creeper, which is called liane in French. So it just means this is from some trees. This is what I want to mean with this little parts right there. But it kind of look like also some tails of serpents right here. So very nice, and it's really a well-designed part, but again also a very specific part. It's not the armor you can put on everywhere, like for example the Inika armor, which are just really robotic parts. This time is very organic part, and it's in lime green also. As you can see also, this time the double long connector, yes, are in dark green, and the arms itself are in lime green. This was not the case with the legs. It was this time the connector in lime green, and then the legs in dark green. It was the same stuff on Matani anyway. The same utilization of the color shell. Yeah, we're gonna also add some Viking teeth right there in silver, but of course at first it's not there, and I can't put this off, so no. Kind of hard, yeah, anyway, it was just a little hard. And then you're gonna find this Metru arms in lime green, so it's not really new because it was released before in Nocturnes in 4 times, but for those who don't own Nocturne, because also it was a kind of a special edition set, it's quite nice to have this some lime green arms or legs parts, so quite nice. Also the hands are in lime green, which are quite interesting because before it was released, I think on Gouache it was released in some dark green, and on And on Tarduk, it doesn't have any ends, so it's quite nice to have this newly colored ends in lime green. And then the weapon, which is kind of a spears, it's really an interesting one because it's in a 3-part, if I can say so. Of course, this one is just a long axle to link the 2 ends together. Then you have the lower part of the spears, it features a Tornax launcher, so I really like when they include the Tornax launcher in the weapon itself. So it's kind of like the Tornax launcher introduced in Squall. They put the Tornax launcher on his sword, and it really looks nice. So here it is. Of course, you're supposed to launch this like that, and it's worked perfectly. And here's the Tornax itself, made with some soft plastic and hard plastic parts. And of course, the Tornax launcher itself is made of 2 silver parts. And we can see we're gonna add this part right here, which will be useful to link some hose pipe between the two, the lower and the upper part. And the hose pipe is very nice because it's in clear color with some dark green parts in there. So it's really nicely done, and it's also really helpful to make it more like snake-like. And we're gonna find some snake on this part, on the upper part of the weapon, which features some, oh yeah, another word to find, excuse me. Yeah, which features some nice parts. Okay. I want to find it, yeah, I think it's called a whip or a mow. Do not know. No, it maybe it's a verb. Yeah, not really try to. No, it's called a seat. Excuse me. It's called a seat. I think it's pronounced like that. Yeah, a seat. So anyway, excuse me for this little lack of vocabulary. So yeah, a seat, and we can clearly see it will be useful to link the hose pipe, and that will be useful to. We will see some. Oh yeah, the seat also is dark green with some silver thread, and we can also clearly see a snake again on this side. So really a well done weapon. Again, it's really specific because it contains some serpents on there and stuff like that. But really, this part is really nice. It's really they will do a good job on the safe part. Safe part, excuse me. And that's quite all. We're gonna add the part right there. I think you're supposed to put this like that, yeah. And then we're gonna add the head, which is of course put on some of the new neck parts, where it's ears. And also we're gonna have some golden, no, not golden, some trans yellow head this time. So not the orange one. So this is kind of the same as the blue guy. So I do not remember this, but still nice. And here's the helmet. Also all full of snakes, white ears, which kind of make look some long teeth right there with this part of the helmet. And of course tons of stuff like that of kind of tree-like, and of course it's in dark green with no fade this time. And it really looks like some gladiator stuff in my opinion because of this open part right here. So I'm gonna put the head of course on the upper part. This is a gladiator head, so robotic head and stuff like that, with some axle all here and on the side. And it's allowed to see the mouth. So really a nice, again, a really special and really a nice helmet. So we're gonna just add the life counter right here. I don't know if you're supposed to put this on the upper side or on the lower part. I think it will be on the, yeah. It's like now we're gonna have to put this like that. And here we go, we have finished Vastus. Finally, so excuse me for all the lack of vocabulary word and stuff like that, and even the pronunciation of this word, excuse me, so yeah. I'm gonna just do a little turnaround, then we're gonna move up and talk about the articulation, and then I will do a little sum up on what I think on this canister from the second wave of 2009. So first of all, the ends, of course, are linked with the weapon, so it's kind of hard to move them independently, but still, as you can see, white ears go all the way up, so it's not blocked at 90 degrees, it can go all the way up. Of course, on this, on the shoulder parts, it of course turns the same movement, but of course it's really not limited at all if you put these two parts off. So you kind of, yeah, yeah, you kind of forced to make some pose with the two arms on the scythe, on the spear. And then the head can quite look down, but not that much, look up and on the side without any problem. And for the legs, of course, it's limited at 90 degrees, a little more because of the part itself, which which you may know, as you can see, is some plastic part right here, and it blocks at the connectors, so it's blocked automatically, and this is kind of suck, but it was also here with the RDCast, so nothing really new. I'm gonna put some pose like that. Yeah, look nice. So yeah, I think that's quite all for the application section. I did not forget anything. So what's to like and not to like on Vastus? So what's not to like? I'm gonna search for it. So yeah, maybe some parts of the application, also the fact that because it's a spear, you have to take the weapon with his two hands. Of course, you can tweak this part, for example, but kind of this piece right here to link the two parts together. So this will mean that this hand is not required anymore to take the spears. So you can tweak them, but of course, when you finish your building, you have this stuff, so you're forced to move the two arms together to move the weapon also. So yeah, some application problem, of course, because of the weapon, but it's not really a problem, and of course because of the legs themselves. But this time it's because of the parts itself, and you can still make some nice poses. You can clearly see right here. Also, the fact that it's not really it's really a specific part, so it can be a neutral point, not really a cons, but it's really a specific part because of all the snake and stuff like that. So really, because this one is really special, it's not like all robotic and stuff like that. It's really have those who doesn't like it. Personally, my friend Shadow doesn't really like this set at all. I don't see what is the problem, but he doesn't really like him, because I think because of the helmet and serpent stuff like this. So yeah, it's original, but on the other side also, it's really a specific part and stuff like that. So I think that not everyone will like Vastus, even if it really has a nice point. So yeah, apart from this kind of opinion point, really subjective point, the bad point also maybe will be the body, which is not really that original at all. Also, some old parts used on the legs, so that's nothing very new if you already have some Laservic set, but not everyone have Laservic, so it can still be a new recolored part for you. And what I want to say, yeah, so of course some good points are some of these new parts. So of course all the serpents part are useful for those who want to knock with this type of parts, with really this specific piece. Also you got some still new recolors like this hands or the arms, which not really were released in tons of sets before. And yeah, the helmet also is pretty nice, and also I really like the scythe right here, the scythe, do not have the right pronunciation of it, excuse me. So yeah, in fact it's really, and also this the hose pipe is really nice. So in fact, yeah, it's kind of hard to say if you need this set or not, because personally I like it. I mean, it has its own defaults. So for example, I'm not really a fan of the body or the legs or stuff like that, but yeah, it still have all these serpents part and the specific parts. So yeah, it's really a subjective set, if you know what I mean. It's really it's really your opinion on this set, if you like it or not. So yeah, I can't decide for you this time. It will all up to you. Of course, it have its own pros, but it also have cons. So it's really a 50-50% set, in my opinion. So it have its good points, but it also have its cons. So yeah, it's not maybe a must-have, like for example, some set like Matanui or stuff like that. But yeah, in fact, it's all up to you. So personally, I like this set for all the parts introduced, all the serpents one, as the lime green and parts like that. This hose pipe particularly, this weapon. It's really a nicely done set in my opinion, but still it has some flaws and stuff like that, which can prevent people to buy this one instead of other sets. So yeah, I think that's quite all. It will again all up to you, and I really hope this review will have make you decide whether or not you want this set. So yeah, I think that's all, and I think that's all on this review on Vastus, one of the 2009 Data Legends, and I think that's quite all. So I hope you enjoy this review, and see you later for another Bionicle video review. Bye bye.